I'm George Douglas,
publisher of Kite Fishing Magazine. I'd like to welcome you to another show. Today we're going to be talking about a region, a very special region. It's called Steelhead Alley, and it starts in western New York and goes through that band of Pennsylvania and around over by the Cleveland area in Ohio. And within this region you can find just a large variety of different water types and streams to rivers that are just keyed in on steelhead, especially in Ohio, where there's not really a big run of brown trout or Chinook salmon or coho. The state actually stopped the stocking for those species and just keyed in on the steelhead because Lake Erie is a little bit shallower than Lake Ontario, so those species didn't really take as well as the steelhead did. But the steelhead really thrived, and they actually went to Michigan to get their strain of steelhead through the Little Manistee strain. This strain of steelhead is something else. Big shouldered fish, just really fresh looking and healthy. Man, the fights are amazing. You can really tell the difference between having on a Little Manistee strain, and when it comes to steelhead, that goes a long way. So I'd like to just talk to you about this region. I myself have fished everywhere on the continent, from Maine to upper parts of Alaska, British Columbia coastline, Washington State, Wyoming, Montana, all the way into the Great Lakes and did the whole Great Lakes chain. So I have a lot of experience in all these different locations, and I'll tell you, this Steelhead Alley is a special place. We've gone through there a few times on our film tours, and right about the third time through I knew this is a place I have to stay and start a guide service up. So I run my drift boat trips and bank guiding trips out of Ohio every spring and every fall. And I'm there during the prime times, March 15th to May 15th. And also in the fall, we're there October 15th to December 15th. So I'm a big proponent of promoting being diversified in your locations. And no one should say, hey, I fish this river every year. You know, it really should bounce around and to be able to get experience at different locations. So Steelhead Alley is something that should be on your list no matter where you live. Flights go right into Cleveland. We're 45 minutes from Cleveland, so anybody can fly into Cleveland and have a car, and you're in Steelhead Alley the second you get off the plane. As a matter of fact, the Rocky River, the river part of it comes right past the runway on the airport. So the second you land, you're right in the heart of things. I spend a lot of my time on the Grand River. It's a really long, windy river that goes through a canyon and the cliff faces and undercuts, and it's really a unique river. And you wouldn't expect that. I mean, Ohio, really, who knew? When I first thought of Ohio fishing, I just thought, the state's really flat. Well, I'll tell you what, it really is unique because not too many people know about it. It's kind of undiscovered. And when you think about the fisheries around the world, really, I kind of judge them on fishing pressure. If there's a ton of guys, I don't care how good the fishing is. If you're shoulder to shoulder, it takes away from it. Steelhead Alley is so spread open that it really gives the angler the opportunity to hike away from the bridge and just to find his own unique spot that's all to himself, not going to be too many guys around. Many times I float 12 miles and I'll see just a couple of guys. Well, one thing you have to do is just be aware of the private property and respect the private property laws. In Ohio, the property owner owns underneath the river. So when you come to Steelhead Alley, just keep that in mind. It's one advantage of floating with a guide is that I take my drift boat right over those private areas. We can't drop anchor, but we can just bounce from public spot to public spot, and many of these public spots you can't get to without crossing someone's property. So it is an advantage to jump in a boat with a guide and come down the river, and he'll know which spot to fish and which not to. You know, come to a new region, check it out. You'll love it. It really has a good vibe to it. I'm going to show a video right now that's part of our guide service trips of 2010 in the spring. The first half shows some plug trips. Second half shows some caught on a fly rod. These are all great clients. We had a really good time, and I hope you enjoy this clip. It really captures the feel of Steelhead Alley, especially with local indie rock band Stalemate. As I mentioned in our first episode, this is a great band, and some of their music just really goes good with some fishing, so check it out.
At the factory, breaking my backbone. Only chairs and broken down machines. The hours go by slow. I hardly ever see the light of day. It steals the life from me. I count 1,000 parts repeatedly. My brain is just melting. It's getting me. I can't escape this numbing pain of the graveyard shift. Getting me. I can't escape this numbing. Night shift at the factory. The smell's just sickening. Come home with stains and grease all over me. I should have been sleeping. It's getting me. I can't escape this numbing pain. Graveyard shift. Getting me. I can't escape this numbing. In the background of a photo is a lie. All the faces and the moments collide. And I hope that we have noticed In the darkness, I'm asking for a sign. Will you help me? I'm running from the light, out of reasons, out of offers, out of time. Don't let it go. 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 And I wanted to explain it, so I tried, but I failed to, so I keep it all inside. Now it's over, but the memory is alive.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed that clip. Those were some nice fish, and those were really some good clients this year. Every trip I bring my helmet cam, and a lot of that footage makes it to our DVDs, and it's just another way of capturing your catch. And again, I hope that gave you a good understanding of what the fishery's like. I'll tell you, some of the times fishing on the West Coast, you're really hoping for that 1-2 hookups a day. This fishery here really can produce some serious numbers. Of course, the West Coast will have some sea run fish that are a little bit different, a little higher quality fish. But having said that, nothing like going with the numbers during a day's fishing and just the consistency of constant action throughout the day. That to me is tough to beat. So look us up, give us a shout. We're at SteelheadAlleyGuideservice.com, and we work with two of the nicest lodges around. The lodge at Geneva on the Lake is basically a resort right on Lake Erie. And we also work with Steelhead Alley Lodge, where this lodge is more along the lines for fishermen that just want to have their own room and kitchen and kind of a condo style experience. There's a fire pit out back, and it's really close proximity to the town. You can walk to town, walk to the bar, restaurant. So Geneva on the Lake is a really cool town. It's a strip that runs along Lake Erie, and it's a summer resort. So there's a lot of fun things around. A lot of them closed during the fishing season, but enough of them are open to where it really makes it special. I hope you enjoyed this show. Please subscribe. Check out our website too and join our community. And we appreciate your support and following. Thank you, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.